Now, joining us on Monday aired a report about an acute shortage of ready-to-use therapeutic food, also known as Plumpy Nuts, a critical food supplement for children suffering severe malnutrition in the northern region. Now, we're receiving some good news today. UNICEF has delivered about 4,000 boxes of Plumpy Nuts to the Ghana Health Service in the northern region for onward distribution to areas worst affected by the shortage. An investigation by Joy News reveals that the Ghana Health Service has not supplied the nuts to the region for the past 3 months. Justice Baidu was in the Nanumba North District of the region and reports that a shortage could be putting the lives of hundreds of malnourished children at risk.
This image looks like those out of a refugee camp, or worse, a war-torn country. A heavily malnourished child desperately crying for help. He looks so emaciated, you can even count his rib bones.
The upper arm circumference is 9.5, so it means the child is severely malnourished. The child is wasting.
Baby Abdul weighs 6 kilos, way less than what a 1.5-year-old baby like him should be weighing. Abdul is just one of many stunted children who have been brought here to the health center in Leposi for ready-to-use therapeutic food, otherwise known as Plumpy Nut. But there aren't any here. The critical lifesaver for children like Abdul suffering stunting ran out here more than 3 months ago, and the Ghana Health Service is yet to supply them. Ma Monimbe is Abdel's mother.
Some of the children are born malnourished, and in this area, when we give birth, we get pregnant early again. So a child would be 3 months and the mother would get pregnant. So we can't breastfeed, and so they get malnourished.
These Plumpy Nuts could mean the difference between life and death for hundreds of children suffering acute malnutrition in communities like Leposi. They've already done 3 months of wait, and as the clock ticks, nobody knows how many more days they would have to wait. This small town in the Nanumba North District is one of the towns with the highest malnutrition numbers in this area, recording at least 3 cases of stunted children every month. Daniel Al-Hassan, the nurse here, says time is running out for the children.
My fear is that if we don't get this Plumpy Nut in time, most of the children will experience a severe form of malnutrition. These children, when they are malnourished, their immune system suppresses. So any little infection takes the child away. Something like common malaria can lead to death.
The most affected are the underones and are pregnant women.
Dr. Stephen Dadia is the district health director for Nanumba North. He says the shortage is a regional crisis.
For the past 3 months, we could take delivery of over 50 cartons of the Plumpy Nuts. But as I speak to you now, 2 weeks ago when we went to Tamale, one made a request. We had only 4. It is a regional-wide issue. It is not just Nanumba North.
Several lives are dependent on the supply of these Plumpy Nuts, and that must be soon rather than later. Justice Baidu, Joy News, Leposi.
Really unfortunate revelations there by my colleague Justice Baidu. Well, we've got Ibrahim Akalbila. He's with the Ghana Trade and Livelihood Coalition. He's joined us in studio to talk about this because they've been dealing directly with this issue and nutrition as an advocacy organization. So first, let's talk about the extent. I mean, this is one area in the northern region, Leposi, but you've been working across the country kindly paint a picture for us. Is this, as some will put it, an exaggeration by the media, or it really is a problem we must begin to look at?
Good morning to your viewers. Unfortunately, it is really a problem. And this has been highlighted even when the nutrition policy was being developed. I mean, it cuts across the Greater Accra region up to the northern parts of Ghana. Unfortunately, the northern region has one of the worst situations or worst incidence of malnutrition. I think at 34%, you know, I mean, exactly with Stanton. So you would have expected that, you know, with that knowledge, you know, efforts would have made consistently to ensure that, provisions such as the fruits, the nuts are actually there on time and available to ensure that children are able to have access to them, malnourished children are able to have access to them. But this is a situation that is painted across the country if you look at what is happening in the northern region. I just had a discussion with my officers in the Upper West region this morning, and I realized that they have some of the plumpy nuts, but unfortunately it's not enough. So I mean, and I can assume that it's likewise in all parts of the country. So basically, I mean, we have to step up our efforts, not just looking at supplying plumpy nuts, but also looking at our whole system of food production and how we interlink with other sectors, such as manufacturing, to be able to have this available locally, you know, to ensure that at least we have them ready when we need them.
We've had our president consistently say he wants a Ghana beyond aid. But let's talk about how the pullout by donor agencies and organizations may have, you know, led to where we are today and the implications thereof. Definitely, it has a huge kind of impact on what is happening currently. And this is a reflection of the level of investment our government is putting in ensuring that at least nutrition-wise, we're able to ensure that at least the malnourished kids, I mean children, are able to be sustained. As a country, we focus more on issues of production. We're not able to, we have huge post-harvest loss issues. Virtually about 30% of what we produce, depending on what you look at with cereals. Vegetables is quite higher. Actually goes waste, we lose that. And definitely, with the situation that we are seeing in the northern region, efforts must definitely be made to to ensure that what we produce is actually used, stored very well, and of course linked up with manufacturing. Well, with a lot of food processing companies in Ghana, we should be able to combine food supplements with the foods that we produce to ensure that the value chain really works to reduce this incidence. Talking about losses reminds me of a story this morning on the 6 a.m. news on Joy. The Agric minister saying that well, there's been some good yield, in fact. He calls it a bumper harvest as a result of the Planting for Food and Jobs program. But some 485 metric tons of maize do not have anywhere to be stored, and trucks are lined up in various cities across the country, all because we don't have warehouses. And the minister tells us that they are now going to put up such things to be able to deal with the problem. Now, you are looking at the bigger picture, and in the same country, you have food going waste. And in other parts of the country, you have children whose lives are going waste because we are not able to bridge that gap between having and transporting to those parts of the country for them to be able to feed themselves. You've been working in this for quite some time. Tell us your perspective, your ideal problem-solving policy or solution to the problem.
In Ghana, we've had a number of agricultural policies. Currently, the Food and Agricultural Sector Development Policy 2 is what we're implementing. We've actually had Investment Plan 1, 2, and we are going to the third one. These are not new problems. These are not new challenges. We've had issues of storage for a long time. We've had issues of post-harvest loss, and especially with the ability of farmers to be able to, at the farm gate level, process and keep their produce in a very good state. We've had those problems. We've had in the past reports of what implications Kinge could have on you as a result of aflatoxins and all that. It's not new to Ghana, So, and what is happening now exemplifies that. You know, you don't.
So why aren't we able to deal with the problem? Because it's not new, and we keep saying it on different levels at stakeholder meetings or on media platforms. But the point is that we've seen clearly from the pictures that children's lives are going waste.
The challenge is that Ghana, as a country, we've never actually been able to successfully put different sectors together, different ministries together to successfully implement a policy. There's no example of that. We can see that in METASIP, we can see that in the trade policy, we can see that in many policies. And the nutrition policy also requires intersectoral kind of collaboration. And clearly, what is happening now shows that that particular experience that we've had over the last few years of not being able to put institutions together to be able to solve problems is actually still prevalent.
All right, thank you very much for your time. So hopefully we'll have more on this and get some answers as well from UNICEF hopefully later on whether these plumpy nuts they've actually sent to release or relieve the burden of parents and help these children out will actually be sustained. But we really appreciate your time here. Hopefully the next time we meet we'll be talking about how well we've done in dealing with malnutrition, especially in the northern part of the country. Thank you very much. Ibrahim Akalibas with the Ghana Trade and Livelihood Coalition.